Today's High Performance Podcast is brought to you by Josh Phegan Digital. It's the only place that you'll find our expansive resource library. Every form, checklist, visual and dialogue that you'll ever need to systemize your business. Available to edit in PDF to rapidly take your business to the next level. Welcome to High Performance, the podcast featuring Josh Phegan and Alexander Phillips. Alexander, this is a really important conversation that when you think about it, market dominance and how you actually get to become the number one in a market, going from zero to hero. Let's say, for example, a market you do a little bit in, but it's probably not your dominant, but let's say Maroubra, and you were going to be in a position that I know your business does a bit there, but Alexander Phillips doesn't do as much. What would it take to become like the number one agent in that area? Like, what would you need to do if you made that decision to expand territory and really push hard into a location like that?
The first thing I would do is probably spend a week walking the streets.
Yes.
And speaking to people in the streets, understanding the demographic of the street, like what's in them, like are they apartments, houses, semis, freestanding.
So density.
Yeah, density. Understanding the people that live in the area, why they live there. What's the draw card? Is it the French school around the corner? Is it the best surfing beach? Is it because it's it's out of the city, but still whatever that might be? Like build up and probably then go to every single agent's open homes on Thursdays and Saturdays or whenever they're open. Do that for a month. At least do letterbox drops. So not the letterbox drops are really for you to get educated
about the market and its density in areas, right?
Exactly. So build up like a really good base of product knowledge, and then go to all the auctions in the area, follow the results, have your domain and REA set up. Probably then you're going to be working inside another agency. Get every single call list that's sold in that suburb in the last 5 years and start calling them.
The interesting thing, we were using ChatGPT the other day on its expanded search, and you can type in and say, okay, great, can you tell me the bus routes, the ferry routes, the train routes? Can you tell me what are the local schools in the area? Where's the best place for a coffee, for a breakfast, a lunch, a dinner, a date night? In terms of the expensive streets, where are they? What's typically happened over time? Who have been the key builders in the area? Are there any future infrastructure projects that are happening? What drives pricing, do you think? And mate, this extended search was crazy because it just gave all of that. And I said to the guys, now you should take that and go and use it, but now go to each of the coffee shops and go to each of those streets and do it. Because if I said to you in Bronte, what are the most expensive streets? You could tell me straight away, hey, this is where it is. And what drives price is access to water or access to that particular thing in terms of a school zone. That's what you've actually got to go and learn. And so we think area knowledge is one thing. The second one is that then what you're talking about is about market knowledge. And then you've got to have really good transactional knowledge. So here in New South Wales, we've got like a Section 66W. I've got agents that have never used a Section 66W, whereas you're like, well, that's pretty much everything that I do because I want unconditional for my owner. So it's learning how to then be able to position to then go and develop the skills of how you generate your leads, how you win your business, and then what do you do to sell them. My perception on how you generate your leads is that you are really, really good about triggers, that what's been listed, what's been sold, who's at impact. And the second thing is get lots of opens every Saturday. So if you're at 30 plus opens on your Saturday, your business is going well. If it's sub 30, you know that you're in trouble because that's one of your biggest lead sources to be able to meet buyers, sellers and neighbours and really work people around a campaign of what's been listed, what's been sold. When it comes to winning, you've got a formula. It could include things like a list of your last 20 sales, writing down lots of notes in the listing presentation so you can empathetically connect with people in their situation. And then when it comes to your sales process, man, you are seriously dialed about the styling, the getting the property ready, the photography, getting the buyers there, getting people there pre-market, taking it to market, driving that level of competition, selling most likely before the day of the auction, or if it's the right thing on the day of the auction. Or even in the occasional situation, if post the auction leads to a better price, you will do that. But mate, like literally you are very intense about wanting to do it. When you look at that, how is Alexander Phillips like that on day one? Like, the day one of walking around Leichhardt and having a bit of a conversation over a bowl of pasta, you probably didn't have the knowledge like you do now of how you would have hit that market. Is that true?
Yeah, definitely. But I was lucky enough sitting on that reception at McGrath to learn from the agents within that office, you're starting out as well, you've got to be surrounded by the right people. That's probably the most important thing other than your product knowledge. You've got to have people that you can learn from.
Yeah, and I think the most important foundational part is that now when you listen to that and you reflect back, you now realise why your business has been so intentionally strong about growing every year, because you're really pushing your people to make sure they perform at their very best.